Hey, what's up, Fit Fam? So here we are. It's almost June. It's time to go into our June Strength Club workouts. We already covered Workout A, so if you haven't seen that video, check it out. Let's talk about Workout B today. So you know the drill. We have our template set. You know, this month we're going to work on supersets. I'll go more into that when we get to that section of the workout, but we have our templates. We're going to start with our ramping here. So we're going to start with those hangs. Again, great for grip strength, shoulder mobility, decompressing that spine. So we want to focus on our breathing as we're doing this as well. So big, deep breaths in through the nose. Try to fill up that whole lung cavity. Think about your torso expanding in every direction like a big balloon. Hold it for a couple seconds and slowly push that air out. Now remember, you can use your feet on the box if you need to as well, but make sure that you're putting as much work onto those hands and those arms as you can to get the most out of this one. And if you can, 3 to 5 big deep breaths is what we're trying to, get to on those hangs here. So we're gonna go 30 seconds of those. Second exercise here is our landmine overhead pulse rotation. So in the first workout, we're working our landmine bus drivers. Now we're just gonna turn this into, we're gonna take that exercise and just work that small portion of it where that bar is basically overhead and over those shoulders. So you can see Coach Lynn here, wide stance with those feet, glutes are squeezed tight, and then she's going side to side with those hands, making sure that she's basically stopping around her shoulders or before she feels like she needs to use her hips or that her hips need to rotate in order to go any further here. Now again, you are gonna feel this in your abs and your core here as we're working it. If you haven't done this one before, there's no need to add weight. For most of you, there's no need to add weight anyway. If you're feeling pretty strong, I guess you could add a few pounds, but really focus on your form and the speed of that bar here. You can also add that hammer sleeve, that landmine hammer sleeve extension to the bar if that's more comfortable for you as well. So we're gonna get 2 sets of each of those. Then we're gonna move on to our second group of ramping exercises, and we have our half kneeling chop and press here. So this is a foundational one for us. I like to come back to it every few months at least here. So we're gonna have that inside knee up. Remember, we're gonna use the high anchored band. You're gonna pull that band, so we're gonna get that rotation just through that thoracic spine, keeping those hips nice and stable. Coach T here squeezing that left glute tight, driving that front big toe on the floor. You pull that band down to your chest, then you press it out. Now as you press it out, you wanna make sure you don't let that band pull your hands up. As you're pressing out, you're gonna feel this in your shoulders a little bit. You also should feel this in your abs, keeping that band and those hands pulled down. So you want tension in that band. If you feel like you can make it a little heavier, scoot further away from the beam to really challenge yourself on this one. When we come back to it, you'll face the other direction. You'll have the other knee up here facing that other direction. So we're gonna get 1 set on each side, and we're gonna match this up with our ultimate sandbag, glute bridge, chop and lift here. So you go into your glute bridge position, bag over the chest, tear that bag apart. And as you can see here, I'm rotating that hand in that bag. I'm going down toward one hip, and then I'm bringing it up over the other shoulder here. Now, to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can bring that other leg up off the floor here and go across your body with this, forcing that single leg to do this work here. If you can challenge yourself to do this, obviously, feel free to. You can also give it a try. If it's not working, you go back to both feet on the floor. Whichever one you can do well, here's what we're focusing on. So in that first set, you're gonna go in one direction with it. When you come back, you'll go to the other direction with that band, or with that bag, excuse me. Again, down toward the hip, over that shoulder, tearing that bag apart. 2 sets of each of those, and then we're gonna move on. So for our power and total body work this month, we're gonna start with our step up press. Again, fundamental exercise here I like to come back to every few months, every 3 to 4 months, so we can practice it. This is gonna get all those muscles firing here. So you're gonna plant that foot on that box, knee stays over that ankle and midfoot. You're gonna drive that box into the floor using that momentum to throw that dumbbell up to the ceiling. It's a deep breath in on the way down. Push that air as you throw it up here. We're gonna do 8 on one side, then you're gonna switch sides and do 8 on the other. Now again, this doesn't have to be a real heavy exercise. The weight should not be so heavy that you are struggling to think or to get that speed out of that press. So the same way that we are working our landmine pivot presses in May, we wanted speed on that bar. I want speed through that dumbbell. So we're throwing that dumbbell fast and hard. So it doesn't have to be super heavy here. It's not to get those muscles exhausted. It's to get all those muscles firing for us. So 8 on one arm and leg, 8 on the other. Then we're gonna hit our ladder drills here, work on some foot speed. So, or excuse me, ski erg. I'm sorry. We're actually gonna go the ski erg here. F foot speed. So we're gonna go over the skier. We're gonna go for 100 meters this time. So you're gonna set the skier, the monitor up for 100 meters. If you don't know how to do it, we will show you. And then you're gonna try to get those 100 meters done as quickly as you can here. So hard pulls, reaching for that top shelf, up to those tippy toes, sit your butt back, push all that air as you're pulling. And then you're gonna track your time and see how long it takes you to do those 100 meters, right? So instead of the 10 reps and how many meters you can get, now we're going for 100 meters and we're gonna see how quickly you can get it done. So we're gonna get 2 sets of that in here. So give yourself, 90 seconds, even 2 minutes if you need to recover here. I want you going so hard on these 2 exercises that you need that time to recover, and then you'll come back to it. We'll get our 2 sets in, and then we're gonna move on to our strength training. So like I mentioned earlier, for this month, we're gonna focus on our superset. So for those of you that are unfamiliar, our superset is 2 exercises done back to back with as little rest in between as possible. And we have 2 supersets that we're gonna work on. One's gonna be an upper body superset, one's gonna be a lower body superset. Our first one here is our chin-ups and then sled row pull. So for those chin-ups, remember whether you're using a band, top hanging, cross hanging, you're going body weight, adding a weight vest, whatever you're doing for those chin-ups, we want 5 challenging reps here. Remember, it's always better to err on the side of making it a little bit lighter on the chin-up so you're getting that full range of motion. Because although, it's nice that you're challenging yourself to make them hard, if you're not getting that full range of motion, you're not getting as much out of it as we want you to. So make sure that you add a little extra band if you need to get those quality reps. And we want 5 good reps. I want you to be able to do possibly 1 more rep. So we're gonna keep 1 rep in reserve, but you're gonna challenge yourself for 5 good reps. Then as quickly as you can, you're gonna head over to the sled. You're gonna grab that rope, and you can see Coach Matt here reaching and pulling with that rope, keeping those hips set back, pushing those knees apart as he's working here, reaching and pulling. So as you're reaching with one arm, you're pulling with the other. Sit that butt back. Now again, on this one, this superset's gonna provide a little bit more muscular endurance, right? So we're gonna go heavy on that first exercise. The second exercise is where you're gonna need to adjust the weight based on how you're feeling from that first exercise. I want this to be a nice, smooth rhythm on these rope pulls. If you have to use your legs on the last couple, that's okay. If you have to start using your legs from the beginning, it's too heavy. We want something that you can do smoothly, quality reps, all the way down. And we're gonna take that sled all the way down to the end of the blue floor. We'll spin it around. The next person or you will do it, you'll bring it back the other way on your second set. So it's 5 quality chin-ups and then 1 way down on that sled rope pull. Our second superset here, we're gonna start with our side lunge bag clean. So for this one, here I am demonstrating. You can see how we step out to the side. The bag's hanging at your hips. Step out to the side, trying to keep both feet straight. Then sitting back with your hips, not pushing out to the side. Once you step to the side, now you're focused on sitting back. So we're not letting those toes point out. We're not letting that knee push out. We're sitting straight back. So it's basically like a single leg clean here. You're gonna drive up out of that same leg that just stepped out. So for this one, stepping out with my right leg, I'm gonna drive up with that right leg, cleaning that bag as I'm coming out of that lunge. Make sure that you bring that bag back down to your hips each time. We've seen that people, when they try to drop the bag as they step, are losing their balance. They're not able to focus on that form as much. So take your time on this one. Challenge yourself with the weight as well. This is 5 reps to each side here. So it's a little bit different. This superset's a little bit different on this one because we're focused on the skill of this exercise, not so much heavy weight on it. So 5 good reps to each side. Adjust that weight based on how well you're moving. The second exercise, we're gonna go over to our slant boards and we're gonna work our cyclist squat. So here you can see Coach Matt's doing the double kettlebell squat. You can also just hold 1 kettlebell. You can go body weight, vest, whatever it is that you're working. Sit that butt back. Remember, we're pulling our butt down toward our heels here. Let those knees go out over your toes. So this is a narrower stance. This one, you're really gonna feel in those quads and around the muscles around your knees as well. So we're going for 10 reps on this one here. So again, this is gonna get your heart rate up. After those lunges, then 10 good squats, that heart rate's gonna be up, but you're gonna be feeling this one. It's gonna get you stronger. I love this combination because it works all those muscles around the hips and those legs, then we can focus a little bit more on those quads on that second exercise there. So we're gonna get 2 to 3 sets of each superset in. In that first week, we'll get at least 2 in. We may have time for a third. Going forward, hopefully we get efficient enough that we will have time for a third, but depending on how you're feeling that day, sometimes 2 sets of each is going to be enough. Make sure you're challenging yourself with the weights and trying to get better at those exercises as well. And then for our finisher here, our conditioning, we're going to start with those push-ups, and always great to practice those chin-ups and push-ups every strength club. So if you can work them from the floor, great. Remember, we don't work our push-ups from our knees though, so if you need to modify, you're going to use the bar, get that bar set up at an elevation that allows you to work that full range of motion. So just like you see Coach Matt on this one on the floor, whether it's on the floor or looking at this specimen, just I'm saying a good specimen, sometimes it's bad specimens too, everybody, but whether you're on the floor or you're using the bar, you want to make sure that your form is proper here. So nice straight line, glutes are squeezed, shoulders down and away. You want that bar to be about right across your mid chest here, so where your bottom bra strap is, or around that line, not too high, not too low here. And then quality reps, we're going to go for 5 to 10, so don't stop at 5 if you can do 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. Then we're going to move over to our ladder drills. I mean it this time. I even have a video to prove it to you. So we're going to think about fast feet on those ladder drills. You can mix it up here, do a couple things. If there's some that you want to try, you haven't tried yet, or you don't know what to do, ask the coach. They can show you a couple more to work on. But essentially, we're thinking nice, fast feet, moving as quickly as we can with proper form here. We're going to go down and back on that ladder, and then we're going to finish up with that Echo Bike, because that's everybody's favorite, and that's how we know we actually got a workout in that day, by hitting that Echo Bike. So we're going for 5 quality calories here, 5 hard calories. Go as hard as you possibly can. Challenge yourself to get better. I know at the end of a workout, it can be tough to hit that bike. It's 5 calories. It's not that long. It is tough though. I understand that. So challenge yourself. The harder you make it during these sessions, the easier it's going to get as you keep working it, okay? So don't be afraid to challenge yourself there. We're going to get 2 to 3 sets in of that conditioning, so we'll have time for 2. Some of you that want to push for a 3rd, it'll be there as well. So I'm excited about this month. I love these supersets. Remember, the first couple weeks we're gonna have to get comfortable with it and learn some things. If you have questions about any of this, please comment in the thread below or reach out to us. Ask us any questions you have. Let's get the most out of this workout this month. Let's have a great summer. Everybody, let's get strong as hell. Okay, that's it. Love you. Bye.